set of A Corgi Christmas. So this is going to be a non-horsey YouTube video for you guys, just to share with you guys behind the scenes a little bit. Having a Corgi on set is not all that different from having a horse on set, although the big difference is that when we are backstage in the area, the dog can actually come in this area with us. So this is where we're hanging out backstage. This is Sherlock, our little star. He's in here. I'll take him out so you guys can say hello. Come here, Sherlock. So he's been getting a lot of puppy love. This is Sherlock. So if you guys didn't know, we breed Corgis. We breed Corgis because they're kind of a unique breed to North America. Our waiting lists are always like super, super long. I think we've got like 30 people between our short hair and fluffy lists. So we've loved Corgis forever. And when we filmed Autumn Stables last year, the producer said, "Oh my goodness, we want to film a Corgi movie," and they saw our Corgis at the farm. So that's why we're filming A Corgi Christmas. It's the same producer and director as with Autumn Stables. And actually Kevin McGarry, who was in Autumn Stables, is in this one as well. So let me take you behind the scenes and see how we film A Corgi Christmas. All right, so here we are looking at the very first scene that Sherlock had to film. So this is a scene where he basically gets brought home, kind of, and you can see he's in the box there. So this is just a little bit of taking pictures behind the scenes. And then I'm going to show you what he did for most of the day, which is that he got to play. So a big part of doing movies, whether it's with dogs or if it's with horses, is that you have to know kind of what they want in the scene, and then you want to be able to prep the dog by either playing with them so that way they're going to be docile for the next scene, or you want to do things like put them in the crate and let them sleep so that way they're going to be active if they want to do an active scene. So here we're letting them kind of run around and get their energy out so that way they're going to be nice and quiet for the next scene. So here you can see what that was is she's basically holding Sherlock, and they're doing lots of these scenes. So when you film a movie, they move the camera around and they film from a lot of different angles. And they always like to have a safety shot as well, which means that they film and then they want to make sure they have a second choice that's also good that they can choose from. And when they film, always from different spots. They do like a wide shot, and then they film, you know, pointed the camera at, this is Kelly, that's the actress in this film here. So this is the angle looking at Kelly, and then they're going to turn the camera to a different spot, and they're going to film the whole thing again, where they film Kevin, who's playing the male character, instead, who's kind of there at the door. And then there's lots of things where, like you saw a little clip, we were waiting, and then there's more time. So he's spending a lot of time basically having to do nothing. And if you know anything about 9-week-old puppies, is that they are very playful and very rambunctious. So it definitely helps that if we let him play and run around first, then he's going to be a lot more tolerant for this. So this is flipping around and showing you now the other perspective. So we filmed looking at Kelly's perspective, or looking at her, and then now the camera setup has completely changed around, and that change of camera time actually takes a fair bit of time. So that's when we're either bringing Sherlock inside and letting him warm up and play inside, or we're letting him play outside, depending on what the next scene's going to be, what he's going to have to do, so he's set up for success. So here now you can see that they're filming the side where Kevin is, and then they both come into play, and this is what you call a wide angle shot, because you can see a very wide angle. You can see kind of the whole house, and then they also film close-ups as well. So here's a little look at trying to get some of the active shots of Sherlock outside. So we had to play with creative things. You can see we're trying to, you know, get him with a toy to come to places. Obviously, being 9 weeks old, he doesn't really know anything super on cue. And a little look at the screen there on the other side. So we had to be creative about how we did stuff.
So here's a little look inside, and the guy on the left there, he's actually doing the focus of the camera. So the camera is not automatic focus like I thought it was. There's actually a guy whose job is to keep the camera in focus. So he's got that little tool and he slides the dial left and right. And then the guy that's on the right there, that's the director, that's Andrew. And so basically they have this monitor set up in another room or usually off to the side. And so they're watching off of the monitor. And the director has headphones on so he can hear what's going on in the sound quality. Whereas I'm going to show you in a second, I'll jump over to the room where they're actually filming and you'll get to see what that looks like. So this is where they're watching the quality of the film, and here you can see they're filming Kevin, the male actor. So you can see that you're seeing Kelly's back, or like her hair, and we're seeing Kevin's face. And then when I flip around, and I'll show you in a second, you'll see the different perspective where they'll be filming Kelly's side. So you can see how patient Sherlock has to be, how because he's doing a lot of these scenes, a lot of these flipping arounds, and has to be very tolerant of just being passed back and forth. So here I've moved, so now I'm inside the room where they're actually filming, but you can see they've changed the setup and now we're filming Kelly's perspective. So now if you look in the side of the, well, you can't really see in the screen a little bit of the camera, but you would see kind of the back of Kevin's head a little bit to show that he's in the shot, but then you see mostly Kelly is who they're focusing on. So that's kind of how they do it, and you can see how good Sherlock's being and how tolerant he is. And a big part of that is because we've had him playing a whole lot. Prior to this, we did the active scenes. We let him play with the other puppy that we had brought along with us. And so now he's feeling pretty sleepy and pretty tired, which is exactly kind of the mentality that we need him to be in for this shot. So whether we're doing a horse movie or a corgi movie, we're always kind of trying to set it up for success and trying to think, okay, plan ahead. You know, what does the animal need to do, and how can we best get that to happen in a way that's going to be happy for them. So in this case, doing this scene at the very end, so that way he's played a lot, and then it's set up for success.
Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to like this video, comment, and tell me what was your favorite part. I know he was super cute, but let me know what you think. And remember to subscribe to this channel if you don't already. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.